I am going to show you guys exactly how you can make at least $1,000 a day trading Solana meme coins using Axiom Pro. So I'm sure you guys have watched some of these types of videos talking about trading meme coins and how you can make so much money, blah, blah, blah. And they don't actually make money themselves and they haven't shown the exact methods they use, right? So we're going to be going from A to Z on how we can make this happen. Just before we go any further, don't take my word for it. You guys can join my free Telegram in the links down below in the description. There's actual verified coins that we've posted time and time again, day after day, week after week, that have gone at least 5, 10, 15, 20x, upwards of over 150x calls in the channel. So you guys can go check that out in real time on the Telegram. You'll be able to join the group and see all those coins down there. Now, before we get any further, you guys are going to want Axiom Pro, in which I have a link down below in the description down below that you can join instantly. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up. This has genuinely changed my whole trading strategy, guys. This platform is so useful. I'm not saying it to talk about this platform specifically, but Axiom Pro lately has changed the game for me, has made things so much easier. So how do we be on top of the game? These are the key things you guys are going to need to know to be ahead of the whole meme coin trading game. So first and foremost, you guys are going to want to be a part of groups, a lot of groups. Get involved in them. Not specifically my group all the time, although that's a great place to start. So you guys can join that in the description down below. Like I said, join plenty of groups, alpha groups, people talking about cryptocurrencies in general, all these meme coins, whatever it may be. Telegram, in my opinion, is one of the best places you can be, because there's not much more reputable than actually speaking to people and hearing people's opinions on coins. In my opinion, that's one of the best things you can possibly do. Second is Twitter. So there's a lot of news on Twitter that you can make use of that's essentially similar to Telegram. You're hearing word of mouth. So very useful information there. You got to be following the right types of people. And we're going to be talking about all this in a second here. So Twitter is a very, very useful place to find information with regards to trenching. Last and foremost, one of the most important websites as well is Dex Screener, which we won't necessarily need to be using right now because Axiom actually has this feature kind of built into it, which is cool. Dex Screener is essentially your standard homepage for what's trending on Sol. Usually it's not specifically just Sol, right? But in a sense, it kind of is, because that's where all the trading happens. That's where all the pump and dumps are happening. That's where all the opportunity is, because things on Ethereum and other chains generally have too much fees, or they don't have the volume associated like Solana does. Pump.fun, Pump Swap, Bonk, all these new things that have come out have allowed more people to make more and more coins, and this is simply just how it is. So what makes Axiom Pro so good, you might be asking, guys? So Axiom Pro, like I said, has this built-in Dex Screener screen right here. So this is essentially the same as what you would see on Dex Screener here when you go to the website. It's an easy place to see it. You can buy it instantly right here on the right if need be, right? So this is your standard kind of screen. And sometimes, as funny as it is, right, you can actually find some nice runners on this screen. Sometimes you don't have to look too deep. However, most of the time, these are ones that are somewhat have already run. They're quite high in market cap already, and you kind of don't want to get involved with them too late, right? Next screen here is trending. So these are coins that are simply just trending, and this is something that's obviously on Axiom as well. So you guys can go look out what's trending. Usually it has to do with an increase in volume or interest in the project, so whatever it may be, right? There's a lot of these coins going on. Bonk language model. So a lot of these new releases are coming up here as well. But what I want to show you guys is the most important section on Axiom. And this is something I want you guys to take a look at when you get on this. What you are going to see here, guys, is the new pairs section, final stretch, and migrated. So these are all new coins that have been created using either Pump.fun, Pump Swap, Bonk, like all these kind of launch pads for cryptocurrencies, and you can kind of see them in real time here. So this one was launched on Bonk. This one was launched on Bonk as well. This one was launched on Moonshot, Pump V1. So that's pump.fun. So you guys can have a look at this in your own time and see what coins are created. Now, here comes the very, very important part. And this is where all the money is made, guys. As you can see here, I want to make it very clear before we go further in this video, guys. This is very risky trading. This is for people that are willing to put the hours into trading, right? You're not going to expect to be profitable at the start. So what I recommend you do, guys, if you want to get involved in this and see how profitable you might be, put something that's a very small amount to you. It could be $20. It could be $2,000. I don't know your personal financial situation. But what I would recommend is putting an amount you do not necessarily care about too much. Of course, we care about every amount of money. That's beside the point, right? Put in an amount you're not afraid of losing and start experimenting. And what I mean by experimenting is definitely not just blindsided going in here and just buying everything. What I mean by this is following the further steps of this video so we can find out whether you can accurately pick runners, you can accurately get involved in the right groups and make the right decisions with these coins. Because in our group, we have many members that have started off with low amounts of money. I'm talking well under 10 grand and have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is verifiable through our Telegram. You guys can go check it out. We've made so many multiples on so many coins, and these are actually proven methods. We're not, don't believe what I'm saying, believe what's actually in the group and what people have actually made, right? Without further ado, let's talk about these coins. These are new pairs that are created, and the filter I've put here under new pairs is 5,000. You can actually put this to whatever it may be, right? So I've put this on 5,000. So what you do is come to metrics here, market cap 5,000. You guys can put it on 10,000 if you'd like. You can kind of sift out a few more coins that are on the crappier kind of end. But I personally like looking at 5,000 because I think you can find some runners, some very, very sneaky runners that are in the extremely low market cap region. But you don't want anything under 5,000, right? That's just whatever. What you're going to do is look at these new pairs and see if there's anything that catches your eye, a narrative around the world. Perhaps something happened in the world. Perhaps there's a TikTok trend. And this is the most important part about picking these coins. It's got to have a narrative that people can get amongst, and it has to have a narrative that people can get emotional about. Any of these certain things will produce something that has the potential to run. It doesn't guarantee it, guys. That's a very important point as well. So what I want you to do is come to this section here on new pairs and find something that you think has a good narrative behind it. So, and you don't need to force it, guys. This is another important thing with traders that don't make it. And you might be watching this video and thinking, hey, that's something I do. Don't force the trade, guys. If there's not a trade to be made, do not actively scan here and think, oh, this one's probably the best out of the bunch. No, don't do that, guys. Have a look here and see if there's anything that really resonates. Like Zim, not sure what that is. If I have time on my hands, I might take a look into what Zim is. Perhaps it's a cat from a specific cartoon or book that just released or something. These are the things that people resonate with, and that's the kind of thought process you have to be involved with. What you want to look at next is the top holders. If this percentage is anything over 25, can it immediately. If it's about 20%, be kind of skeptical. And if it's 15 or less, it's generally a good sign, right? You do not want the top 10 holders to have an enormous distribution of the coin. And you definitely do not want to see them selling as well, because that obviously shows exactly what's happening. So right now, out of all of these coins, guys, I am not seeing anything that catches my eye. American Party, we've had 1 million of those coins. That was obviously something created by Elon, and a lot of people took advantage of that narrative. I think personally that it has been a thing that's run its course. But yeah, just keep scouting here. Be on the lookout. ANZ Sol, I have no idea what that's about, right? Strong Bong. Next up is Final Stretch, which means these are coins that are extremely close to migrating. And the reason why this one is at 600k market cap and it's still in this final stretch is because it's released on Moonshot. I believe the bonding happens at 1 million market cap on Moonshot. So we've got Alien, Pengu, UFO, Gary. So the thing is with Gary, this Gary coin, so we're seeing it at 46k market cap, about to migrate potentially. A cat is a good narrative to go off all the time. People love animals. People love these dogs and cat coins to do with crypto. We've seen PopCat run. We've seen all these dog coins run, of course. And that's something that people can get in amongst in very, very easily. So if there's a narrative with this cat, what you do, if there's a coin you're somewhat interested in, just right click here. So when analyzing this graph, First off, I see the dev has sold, so that's what these indicators are here. Axiom's very useful for that. You can see on Axiom right away if the developer has sold or bought here using these indicators. Very useful. Usually it's not a good sign if the developer is selling. Obviously, they're the ones who created the coin. And if they're selling, obviously they don't really see long-term prospects in it. But it can also mean they took some early money. They might reinvest it into the project. You don't really know for sure, but it's not a great sign, right? So that's one thing I wanted to show you guys. Using Axiom, you can obviously buy these coins very easily right here. So generally, if you're using something like Radium or Jupiter, and obviously this uses those platforms, right, to execute the swap. But if you're using those platforms manually or vanilla trading, you can actually miss out on some good entry points because there's so much volume passing in and out through these coins that the slippage kind of screws you over. So if we look at Gary here, they don't have any, they have an X account. It's Japanese, so, maybe I won't get into that. It's getting kind of rug pulled at the moment. So that's interesting. We won't even bother looking at Gary. We'll look at these other ones. PEPE. Now, this is one that was interesting. It was mentioned in my Telegram group at 22,000 in market cap by one of our top members who has escalated his trading game very, very well. So he mentioned PEPE. This was one that was seen getting shilled by quite a few big KOLs on Twitter, right? And we did see this at 22K in market cap. So now at 81K in market cap, you would have seen the narrative there at 20-something thousand, right? This is the minute chart. We'll change it to the 5-minute chart. You would have seen the narrative there nice and early and gone, hang on, there's KOLs on board this on Twitter. Got in at 20K market cap, potentially took initials out at 40K because when it doubles, generally how I like to trade is take my initials out. That way I know no matter what happens to the project afterwards, if it has been rug pulled or whatever it may be, I've got my money out. And that's how I like to trade. A lot of people like to go all the way into where they think it's going to go. But personally, the way I've seen success and the way I've mitigated a lot of risk is by taking initials out when I can. Even perhaps at 50%, you can take your initials out then and then ride that free kind of bag you have on 50%, right? So this one was a little bit of a runner. That's an odd 3x or so, getting close to 4x. That would have been great. Obviously, it would have hit about a 5 or 6x up here. That's great news for the people that got into that. So PEPE, obviously this was kind of something that you could get amongst quickly, like PEPE. It's a very trendy thing. Everyone likes Pepe the Frog. You could see it as an oversaturated type of meme. So maybe that would have been something you avoided. But at the same time, guys, if you see certain people on Twitter, this is why it's extremely important to be following people on Twitter that have big reaches and they talk about meme coins. You would have seen that early, being able to take advantage of that, take a 2-3x on that along with your day. So that one's in final stretch. Wouldn't touch it at this point in time because I don't think it has the narrative to keep running, right? This was released on Moonshot as well. American Party, like I said, I've seen 1,000 of those coins. I think there's one that's kind of nominated to be the one. When you've got these copycat coins, there's generally one that people flock to and all the volume and market cap comes to that. This is a good area to look at as well, the final stretch. They've got a bit of volume and interest pick up on these coins. Lonely Chill Guy, Uncle Elon, Chonky Animals, Super Bonk, Strong Bonk Season, Cave, Gary, Pump. Been so many of these pump coins. And this goes on to the point, like I said before, guys, don't force the trade. You don't need to look at this and think, oh, I need to get into something, blah, blah, blah. You really don't need to, guys. I'm telling you, if you're not patient, you're going to end up losing a lot of money because you get involved in too many rug pulls. The final section I want to talk about is this migrated section, which is obviously coins that have migrated from Pump, from Bonk, whatever it may be, Moonshot. And these are generally coins with a lot of traction, a lot of interest lately. And that's the positive from this section, right? You're not exactly super early like you would be with these new pairs. Dancing Bonk, that looks like one I'd be interested in. There's been a big Bonk meta lately. Percentage looks quite good so far, at least. A little bit of bundle. Doesn't look too bad, right? So this migrated section are coins that have provably got a bit of traction going on for them. So if you can really spot a runner here, like Bonko might be a good one because at the end of the day, guys, there's this whole bonk narrative going around. And like I said, that comes with research, understanding what is happening with the markets, and understanding that there's a whole bonk narrative going on. So bonko, and it looks like a monkey to me, obviously. So on Axiom, they have these socials here under the coin that you can access very, very easily. So they only have a Twitter or X account at the moment. You can check that out, see what's happening on that. Are they posting a lot? Are the memes going well? Are people liking and sharing it? So that's got quite a lot of likes and shares, quite a lot of reach. 4 minutes ago, posting memes. This could be something that a lot of people are looking out for, right? I like the look of it. If we're doing a little bit of TA is not important on these coins, by the way, but we have just seen this as a support level, this 120k. So after migration, which is this indicator here, I'll show it to you guys. This is the migrated from launch lab symbol. So it shows you all these indicators when it migrated, dev sold, dev bought, like I said. This is the support level that we found at 120k. So potentially this could be a nice bounce back from these levels here, and we could be going a lot higher. Like I said, this is gathering all the steam and interest, 710 holders. Obviously, a lot of them would be bots as well. They kind of try and inflate the numbers, not organically. But at the end of the day, guys, this chart looks really great. It's migrated, and I like the narrative of it. A monkey, it kind of sounds like a monkey in a way, like ONK and bonk, bonko. People love these types of things in crypto. Like I said, a lot of volume, 969,000 in volume. We'll check that out more in a second here. Knob, degen official, vibe. That was also mentioned in our Telegram chat, a lot lower as well. So people are very happy about that at the moment. You guys can go check that out in my free Telegram group. So we're always on top of these things, right? Bonk nance. So it's kind of funny, right? The whole bonk narrative I'm telling you that's going on at the moment. It was launched on Bonk as well. Binance, bonk nance. It's a big crypto thing. 51k in market cap. Lot of volume, 3.5 mil. I'll go check that out in a second here as well. President versus Elon. Obviously, everyone's heard about Trump versus Elon at the moment. So these things that go on in the world, and it's about playing these markets and narratives effectively, right? So Skabob, maybe that's a current popular meme. I don't know, right? But I don't think it's going to run. So just me, someone who's been somewhat experienced in these markets, right? Someone who does this pretty much every day. So someone who's experienced in the markets like myself, I'm constantly surveying these markets and seeing what's going on, what coins are released. And a lot of these coins you will actually see, I don't think are going to run. I'm not just clicking on these and going, oh, I think that's good. Like green ship, like, nah. Like what possible narrative behind that, right? Moon, maybe that's a kind of specific to Asian culture. Who knows, right? Baby bonk, we've seen that before. Nah. You know, so these are the things you pick up on. And if we're looking on the left here, you can see these coins that are still getting made by the second, right? All these are releasing and they're getting put on here in new pairs on the Pulse section under Axiom. This is very important. And this is what a day in the life of a trader is, guys. These are the types of things you're going to do. A lot of people will portray it a certain way on YouTube, and people that want to really sell you and have you thinking they do this for a living. This is exactly what's happening. And then if you're not scanning here or nothing's happening here, you're going back on Twitter, you're seeing the news, you're going back to your Telegram group. I found this runner. This one was pinged and some big KOLs are in this coin, and people are helping you out. You're helping people out. You're providing each other value, and you're making money as a group. This is where I'd start getting knowledge for coins though, and learning how to pick up on runners and trying things yourself. So if you thought this would run Bonko, for example, right? If I was looking for an entry point on this, I'd use a little bit of TA. I'd be like, look, we did see this bounce happen at around 100k. So if I'm looking for an entry point, it'd probably be that 100k level if we did bounce off it again. And then I'd be eyeing out that 250k level again, right? So that's where I'd probably look to take my profit. These are things you pick up on just by being a part of the market. I think it has a decent enough narrative. We know it has traction. People have gotten on board with it. And we know the top holders have 16%, which is obviously, like I said, not optimal. Definitely not optimal, but it's somewhat reasonable to get in with, right? Bundlers, 7%. There's always going to be some form of bundling. 7% is not bad. You do not definitely want it over 15%. It's done, right? So a little bit of snipers involved as well. And as you guys can see, you guys can implement the advanced trading strategy as well. And you can add different take profit and stop losses here. So that's the benefit of Axiom as well. You can implement all those things very, very easily within the app. Now, if we just hold on here for a second, we'll leave Bonko open. I think this is something I'll take a position in if it does reach that 100K level again and bounce off again. Like we see the bounce off 100, and I'll probably take a position. Right now, not feeling it. It's on a red candle. Lost a little bit of volume. Anyway, guys, Bonk Dance, as you can tell, the dev has sold a ton. And it looks like it has had its run, right? If we're just looking at the graph for what it is, it looks pretty dead at the moment. I think Bonk Dance is done. That's fine, right? Don't get involved in coins just because they have a narrative, they have social medias, it looks good. Maybe the run is already done. Take a look at the graph. If it's already in the mud, it's done. That means it's been extracted probably by the creators or other people that were involved. So you don't want to get involved with that too much. Bonk Book. New one that was created here. We could take a position in that. It just migrated. So I think it just got dumped a bit actually. Yep. So it migrated very quickly, getting dumped off. This is the type of stuff that happens. And this is the reality of the situation, guys. It's a very, very PvP driven market. People that are trying to make money constantly against you. So like I said, it's very important you don't just jump into random coins that are on here, because a lot of them are just landmines. You're going to lose a lot of money. So these are very important lessons I want to teach you guys, because I've been someone who's been involved in these types of markets for a very long time. Seen it all happen on Pump.Fun, seen it all happen, the Libra scam, you know, Melania, all these coins, been through it all this cycle, been through the whole Binance chain thing last cycle. That was kind of SafeMoon and all the Binance chain nonsense that happened. I got nothing. Okay, this is the first one I've seen that looks quite good. 5K market cap, extremely, extremely risky. Okay, we won't look at that in a second. This will be something I might want to get in. So 5K, I got nothing. It's kind of funny, right? This day and age, a lot of people, there's always it's got quite a funny meme and it's memeable. We've seen that face before. I got nothing. This is the day and age where people kind of joke about that because everything's so expensive. People don't really have anything anymore, right? So top 10 holders, 6.63%. There's no real social medias at the moment. I mean, they got an X, 10 followers, 1 member. Doesn't look great at the moment. So what you would consider this as is just an outright gamble. There's nothing really to go off by. There's nothing happening on the community, the social media. Even though I like the meme, I think it has potential to run. I would not get into this coin. So this is mitigating the risk yet again, not something I would get into. So let's try and find something that I would get into. See, we're looking at Bonko here. This is very important, guys. See, I wasn't on top of it because I'm trying to teach you guys, but we did bounce off these levels here. So we're at 154K again for Bonko. So very important stuff here, guys. We did bounce off these levels again, about 120K. So important. There's a lot of buying support from Bonko. I think I would take a position in this if I wasn't in the midst of a video. There was one called LeBonk James. We know the whole bonk narrative that we just spoken about in a little bit of detail. And we have seen the NBA offseason. There's been a lot of news regarding LeBron James and where he's going again. So that's something that has a bit of a strong narrative that could run, right? And if you're catching out at 5K in market cap, you're going to be able to get in super, super early, put a little bit of money in and see where it goes, right? Check all the socials, do the research yet again. Here comes a very important part of this guide, which is sizing in your money. So you do not want to be someone who just sizes in with massive amounts of money in these coins. These are very touchy coins, guys. Very, very low market cap coins. You do not want to be putting in thousands and thousands of dollars into these coins that are just made, or even in the final stretch, unless you have inside information or you know it is absolutely going to the moon. This is critical because you'll get into one of these coins, guys, I promise you, and you'll put half a soul in, which is approximately 75 US, right? And it will do a 3x very quickly. And you'll think, oh, if only I put 500 bucks in, I would have made this. You know, that's kind of a destructive mindset to have, because next time you'll be thinking about putting that in in essentially every coin you take a look at and you think that will happen every time. You have to structure your money properly when you're investing into these coins, and you can't put too much in, because effectively if you could put $10,000-$20,000 into these types of coins and catch 3, 5, 10x's all the time, I mean, you'd be making millions per week, right? But the thing is, you want to catch these runners and you want to size in these coins that are about 5k in market cap. You just want to put about half a soul in, right? At the very most, 1 soul. You don't want to size in massively. But yeah, guys, these are the type of multiples you're looking for, and these end up being massive, right? If you get one of these coins with 1 soul, which is, like I said, approximately 150 USD, and you catch a 3x, that would essentially be 450 US, right? And you've just made 300 US, which is essentially 2 days at a job for a lot of people. So this is how easy it is to make a lot of money off little amounts of money. And if you catch 3 great runners a day, that's $1,000 a day. This can be very, very simple, guys, if you catch the right runners. And that's my whole point. So as we've been here the whole time, we're still getting all these coins created second by second. So every time, these are all opportunities, right? And a lot of these will run up, guys. It's just about selecting ones that you really are confident in. So sizing in is very important. Final stretch, you can obviously invest a little bit more money. You're talking 2 or 3 soul, because these are coins that are a little more proven and they'll have higher success rates, because obviously when you're getting in this early, you're going to be getting screwed over a lot of the time. And these migrated coins, sometimes you get a lot of confidence in them and you can start putting, 5 to 10 to 15 soul, whatever it may be, right? Something that's very comfortable for you. You'll get a general gist of the amounts you want to put into these coins, and it all comes with experience, right? This is just what I've found has worked for me. One way people screw up with this as well is they don't know where to take profits on. See, we've just seen Bonko 165k. I told you guys this was a good runner, had a good narrative about it. It's a monkey. People like monkeys. So if you remember Ponky, that famous meme, ran up massively during the midst of this bull run. Another place where people screw up is profit taking. So they get overly confident. People forget all the time, this is real money on the line, and you need to lock in your profits, and you need to take profits when you can and when it's appropriate. So for example here, if we got into Bonko at 100k in market cap, for example, say we got a really good buy-in price, we were on top of it, we didn't miss our buy-in price, we got in at, let's say, 100k market cap. I got into this coin for a reason. I'm not going to get shaken out just because it comes back down to here to 100k. I'm not going to get shaken out with it. That's typical market cap fluctuation with meme coins, especially in this space when they're this market cap, right? I am going to hold that position until I get at least 50%. So this would mean the market cap would reach at least 150,000, which essentially means if you put 1 soul in, it would be worth 1.5 soul. 1.5 soul worth of Bonko. Another thing, guys, is you want to be very patient with this. So not every coin is going to moon instantly. So what I want to give an example of is the other day we did have a lot of success with our coins. They mooned pretty much straight away. Like I said, 5, 10, 15x within the matter of about half an hour, right? And it went on to go 20, 25x within the matter of a few hours. But sometimes coins take a while to get the volume coming in, especially when you're in low volume hours, such as right now what I'm doing. This is before the US is awake. So the US are the main trenches when it comes to Solana. So a lot of the volume comes in when they wake up. So sometimes you can actually get a lot of winners before they wake up and invest into ones that you know are going to do well. Maybe it has a kind of narrative behind it that is predominantly American. And you know when the Americans wake up, it's going to start running, more volume is going to pile in. People will start talking about it on Twitter. So that's another thing. Make sure you stay patient with it. A lot of people will get into this Bonko coin that I'm talking about and seen it drop after the run up and just gotten out here and gone, oh, screw it. This could always be the start of a new leg up. And this is why you need confidence and conviction in your picks, because if you know they're good, you know what you think you're going to get out of it. That's great. But I'm telling you, don't sell too early just because it's not doing it within the matter of 10, 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer. Unless they're extreme micro caps, you have to be right on top of it, guys. So like this new pairs section. Then comes the decision, in my opinion, do I take profit do I take my initials out and let the rest ride for a bit and see how far it can go, or how far I think it can go? Or do I wait till a 2x, I've doubled my money, then take initials? So for me, if I think the narrative has died out a bit and I'm taking a look at the volume and seeing how much volume is there, I would definitely take a look whether the volume is going up or down. And if it's going down, it's kind of, if things are slowing down, I'd start taking profit, because at the end of the day, guys, a lot of these coins die out very quickly, and you don't want to be the one left holding the bag. Like I said, I want to make it very clear in this guide, all of these coins, if not 99.99% of these coins, will be zero within the day, within the week, for sure. Okay. But some rare runners do continue and go into the millions, and that's when you see House Coin, all those kind of troll, those top ones, right? You're looking at Bonko, and by the looks of it, I probably would take profit at that 50% mark, because things are kind of slowing down. Maybe the narrative, I don't think it's that good, right? But I do think it's good enough to get that 50%, 2x kind of level on it. Now, how do you spot these ones that are going absolutely crazy and you think they're going to go 3, 5, 10x or even higher, right? It's got to be a super, super strong narrative. So for this one, it's just simply based on Bonk and this whole launch system with Bonk. It's not really something a lot of people get emotional about. It's not massive, right? However, if this was something like another Peanut the Squirrel, another Moodang, and this was one of the runners that people were buying a lot of volume, you're nice and early, that's something I'm going to hold for a very long time, because I know there's a wider majority of people that are going to buy into that narrative. This Bonko one, like I said, I think it has enough of a narrative to run for a little while. People will be interested in it, but ultimately this will fall very quickly, in my opinion. When is the time to get out of the position entirely? So for example, if you're in a coin and you think you've hit wrong, right? You haven't got the right coin and it's dropping rapidly. So for example, Bonko was absolutely crapping the bed here, hit here, went up a bit and started dropping again. In my opinion, guys, you kind of want to let it run out unless you know it's breaking key TA levels as well. So if you've lost confidence in the project and you are seeing it, for example, I reckon if it broke this level here at 60K, I'd just take a 40% loss on that, and that's fine, because you probably know it's going to zero, right? Chances are. Once it's lost the momentum, people kind of get out there really, really quickly. And this is another pro of using Axiom Pro. You can get out really quickly, sell, see you later, sell all my Bonko, 100% here, bang. That's just my strategy when it comes to these types of coins. These are very, very touchy runners, like very, very low market caps, but things are different for when they're higher market caps. Anyway, this is a very good example here because there's not many things that are really running at the moment. There's nothing I like the look of. So go to your Telegram groups, go to your Twitter, see what's happening at the moment. You know, use your hashtags, use your coin hashtags, whatever it may be, and look for the next runner or information on what top people are tweeting. Maybe Elon tweeted out cardboard or something, and someone makes a meme coin called cardboard, and it's the first one that was made. And I know this sounds silly, guys, but this is the world your mind enters when you're into trading meme coins, and this is how you make your money. This is the type of life that people are living on the internet. Quite obscure, but you have to learn these things, right? So yeah, if you want to take advantage of it. So like we did say here, we went to this Bonko X account or Twitter account, whatever it may be, and they're posting every 10 minutes or so, right? So they're still doing that, keeping it up for the short term at least. This is all you need, the short term momentum. I kind of like it. They're making some videos about it. It's including PEPE, some degenerate kind of activity stuff. So I think it's going to gather a bit of an audience, right? Like I said, if I did get in this, I would be taking profits at around that 150 to 200K mark and trying to cement some profit at least and let the rest ride. So what else can you do using Axiom? In the trackers section, you can actually track your own wallet. So if that's something you're interested in, guys, you can track your own wallets on Axiom Track Twitter accounts very, very quickly. You can use those things if you'd like. I personally just use Twitter myself. I don't use it through Axiom. I just have it on the side myself. Have notifications on for your Twitter for people that you think are very important in the space. Because at the end of the day, guys, Trading meme coins is an attention economy. It's got nothing to do with utility at all. You guys probably obviously know this, but it's an attention economy. Whatever can gather attention is what's going to make you the most money. So a lot of these narratives are popping up at the moment. These BLMs, blind language model. I saw another one, bonk language model. So obviously, if you guys have seen that coin, large language model, it's kind of the same photo as this. All this information you learn over time of trading meme coins and the market in general, right? So guys, if the pulse section isn't exactly working out for you, just go back to discover, see what's going on Dex Screener. Maybe something's changed. And this is the next part of the video I want to talk about, guys. Dex Screener does have some reputable runners, regardless of whether their market cap is a fair bit higher. You see these coins, there's a lot of these coins going on at the moment, kind of on the play of useless coin, which is a 280 mil market cap crypto. And basically they're making memeless, useless, pointless coin. And that's been a popular one so far. So if we take a look at memeless, a lot of volume, a lot of support. Love this chart actually, to be honest with you guys. I'd be looking at some entry around this level here, 1.1 mil. It's obviously bounced off this 1.2 mil mark and it's looking very, very strong. Obviously, you're not looking for massive multiples in this very, very quickly, unless it ends up being something that runs very, very high, but you use the original coin as a gauge for where you think it can go. So if useless coin is 280 million market cap, then you can kind of come to the conclusion that, look, a spin-off of that coin probably obviously won't hit that amount. Could it reach something along the lines of 5 to 10 mil? Yes, it probably could. There's a lot of volume in this coin at the moment as well. So that's potentially something you want to take a look into as well, guys. So look, massive runner here. It's going up at the moment. It hasn't really stopped going up. We did see that drop there. But like I said, if I wanted to enter this coin, I'd take a trade around that 1.2, 1.1 million mark where we did see that support, because TA levels actually do help a lot of the time, right? So I just want to say, guys, like I said before earlier in the video, we did call a lot of these runners the other day in our free Telegram group. One actually went more than 20x, as simple as that. So you're talking 1 sol into 20 sol in the matter of a couple of hours. That was called BTC. It was simply just a copy of Bitcoin. I saw the narrative behind it. There was a coin called Bobby the Cat at the time, which was a ticker of BTC. So there was a bit of a narrative happening with that at the moment, a bit of hype at the top point in time. And that did run up massively as well. There was other coins that we talked about on the day as well. So you guys can go check that out below. These are the methods that I've used to find these types of coins as well. And like I said, it's extremely important to talk in group chats like this and tell people about coins you've found, whether that's good or not. Some people that aren't as experienced as you also might have good information to share with you. Oh, don't get into that coin because there's actually a founder that's known for rug pulls that's in charge of that one. Whatever it may be, right, guys? So there's a lot of information. You might have heard something from someone where some insiders or cabal is involved in another token and it's still early and you can get a nice 5, 10x on it. Whatever it may be, guys, I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless in this market. If you're willing to put the effort in and do this daily, I'm telling you, we have had people in the channel pretty much change their lives, right? So if this is something you're interested in, guys, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, join my free Telegram in the links down below. And if you're interested in trading yourself, use my Axiom link in the description down below as well. So you'll get free access to Axiom Pro. You'll be able to trade and use all of these things that I've just shown you guys. If you want to be a part of a group, like I said, join my links in the description down below. Have a chat there, say hi. I'll answer any question you guys have with regards to coins, what to do, whatever it may be, right, guys? So I'm there to help. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.